Yeah, okay, guys. Once again, very good afternoon. So, yeah, today we are going to start new topic that is JDBC. So before diving into this topic, let's consider some real world scenarios. Like why we need to actually know and learn about the JDBC. Let's suppose in real time applications, anything like job applications, uh, banking, financial. So let's consider in real world, these applications will interact with the database. So job applications, every job application, the other side of the team will ask some details from the user. So because they need to contact for further details. So how they will contact without your informations? So they will ask your details and they will store your entire details in somewhere storage. So on banking, so in each and every second, a transaction is going on, and some of the customers are depositing deposit some money into the account and credited and financial also. So this these applications has to interact with the database in order to store the user entered details into database for further reference. So that's why we need to know the JDBC. So actually, there are a lot of database connectivities. For Python, it has a different process, and Ruby, it has a different process. For JDBC, Sun Microsystem introduced JDBC. So actually, it stands for Java Database Connectivity. So not a connections. So some of the members might confusion that to Java database connection. It's not a connection, it is a connectivity. So and actually it is a API or a tool. So it is used to Java application to interact with the database. So we know that. So actually it is a API. So what does general API will do? So it makes two applications will sequentially communicating with each other. So that's why it is a API for communication between Java and database. And it provide a lot of interfaces and classes in order to connect to our Java applications using JDBC APIs. So all the classes and interfaces come under the Java.SQL package. So Java.SQL package. Then so we know that the Java.SQL package will provide some popular interfaces for JDBC API. So there are driver interfaces for each driver. Let's suppose either MySQL or Oracle and post to create different drivers. We need to communicate before communication with the database. We need to register. So for that, we need to use a driver and a connection. So it is used to make establish the connection with the database under statements. So it is an interface. It is used to create our statements and prepared statements and callable statements. So these are all the statements, but each and everything has some their unique and a result set. So it is an interface. So it stores the result of the statement after execution the certain query. It fetch some data from the DBs. So eventually that entire results we need to store into this result set interface. The result set metadata and it provide more information on the database. So it provide a recording database and a row set and so these are the some classes. So driver manager class, blob types. So and there are four types of drivers. So one is JDBC ODBC bridge driver. Is open database connectivity and native API driver, network protocol, thin driver native protocol. So out of these four drivers, Uh, the fourth one, that is a thin driver native protocol. So it is the mostly widely used connect Java database connectivity because um, it improve the performance and the scalability ability and it is a platform independent. Uh, so these are the major some of the major advantages of using thin driver. So actually, this thin driver it doesn't depend on the third party drivers also. But here, remaining three. So JDBC, we need to set up ODBC before connecting to the JDBC, and it is a time consuming process. So every driver has a their own rules and own jobs. But the fourth one, JDBC driver, this one driver, it is mostly widely used database connectivity. So you might wondering what is a driver? So this is the driver for MySQL. For MySQL, we need to this is the driver class. For Oracle, it is almost similar to this one. com.oracle.jdbc.driver. So it is almost similar to MySQL. So this is the driver classes. Mm, next one, yeah. So steps to connect to JDBC. So in order to interact from the Java to our backend database, we need to follow some certain rules. So obviously, we need to import the required packages for corresponding database, and we need to load and register the database driver. So that means we need to register this MySQL JDBC driver. Uh, every applications will communicate to different databases. So for that, we need to register. So then register the same. So by using class dot for name, we can register certain database. But for time being, this is our driver, MySQL database. And we need to establish a connection. So is the connection interface. So it is a connection interface. We need to implement that. So it is connection interface. We need to establish the connection by using the driver manager method. So it's not a method. Actually, it is a class. So it provide some methods. It provide connection method. So it provide a connection method. And the another one is we need to create our statement. A statement and we need to execute that statement by using the execute query method. So basically, this execute query, it is the statement interface method, and after executing, obviously it will fetch some records from the backend, that is database. So we need to process that result, and finally we need to close the connection by using the close. We have to close the connection because if you forget to close the database connectivity, then some attackers might store the resources from our database. So that is the main reason we need to close the resources. After the entire process completed, we need to close. Okay, we have covered this JDBC, but how? How do we actually connect with the database? So we know that these are the steps and these are the methods. So we know that these methods and classes interfaces will come under Java.SQL package. So Java doesn't provide this SQL related interfaces, methods, and classes. So we need to explicitly add one file, that is a jar file. We need to add MySQL connection uh, jar file in our project. Then only we can able to use this process. That is, we can use class driver managers and tail regarding to database connectivities. We can use that classes and methods. But where we can download this MySQL connected Java. So we can download this MySQL connected jar from official website MySQL community server. So go to MySQL community server and go to first site. Um, Not this one. Go back to go to home page. And here there are a lot of options. So you need to find the connector for Java. Here J stands for Java. It is a CAVT. So this connector is used for C++ and .NET, Node.js, ODBC, and Python. So different. So for our requirement is Java. So we need to click that to connected Java. And here you need to select the operating system. So as you already know, it is a platform independent. You need to select platform independent. Then it will load the jar files. Here you need to select the second one, 4.8. So not the above. So platform independent, architecture independent chip. So download. Out here you don't need to do anything. You just need to no thanks and just start my download. It will automatically download. So I have already downloaded. So once you download it, it will download zip format. You need to extract that. So MySQL connector, go to inside and here you will find MySQL connected jar J. So it is a version 8.3.0 because we are using MySQL our bench 8.8 version. So we need to install that relevant to connector only. Let's suppose you are using Workbench 8 version, but you are using MySQL connector 5. Obviously, it won't work. We need to um, set the path which is relevant, which is the same version. So MySQL Java 8 version. And now go to Eclipse. Yes. So, okay. So let's create new project for Java database. Java file, click new Java project. Let's give project name is JDBC practice and Java standardization. mm, Next and finish. So our project has been created. Now here we need to set our path. Like we need to here, you already know that whenever you create a new Java project, it always comes with the default to JRE system libraries and source. We know that. So JRE system. So along with that, inside JRE system library, you can find a lot of jar files. So like this, we need to add MySQL connected jar files in order to connect our MySQL database. So right click, go to build path, configure build path. And here you need to, yeah, libraries, click the class path and add external jar file. Add external jar file, it will open, download, MySQL one. Yeah, check this MySQL connected jar file and open and apply and close. Now the external jar file has been added. So again, I'm telling right click, build path, configure build path, libraries. Or you can also say find the same path to go to properties under libraries. Here, not only this one, you can add what you can add more than you want libraries. Like here we are only adding one jar files. You can add multiple jar files. Externals, apply close. Yeah, okay. We added. Let's create package. Mm, pom.jdbc.test. Okay. So we know that this is the process in order to connect our from Java to database by using the JDBC. But here, in order to do that, here we need to some properties. There is not a property. Here we need to have some requirements. That is, in order to connect to database, obviously we need to username and password, and that to URL. Mm, like connection URL. So we need these three properties. Then only we can able to connect our from Java to database. So let's suppose our username is root. We know that, and the password is also root. So connector URL. So here the standard URL for MySQL is JDBC colon MySQL slash local host under uh, database name. So you can rewrite this in another format. JDBC MySQL localhost here port number. So here we need to mention our port number. So uh, every software like every database has some default port numbers. So but for our MySQL workbench, uh, 3306. So this is the port number for MySQL. So you can write like this, or else you can write like this also. Both will work. So by using these properties, we can able to successfully communicate our database. First, let's check whether we need to check whether the we are able to connect our database or not. Mm, Create one class, DB connection check. Let's me. So here I'm giving the properties like these properties. So I'm giving this out of the method mm, public static final string username root public static final string password root public static final mm, mm, SQL con URL JDBC colon localhost. Uh, so database. Let's go to our workbench. See, our workbench version is 80. This one. PCS global tables. Yeah. So for time being, take employee info. So our table name is here. You need to mention database name, not a table name. So PCS global. Uh, PCS global. Okay. Now we have properties like username, password, connection. Then we need to follow the steps. So import. Okay. Load. So first register for driver. Uh, start for name. Okay, it will obviously it will throw exception. Next, next step is we need to establish the connection. So by using the connection. So here what I will do is I'll give connection. So see it comes under the java.util package. So connection con is equal to initial I'm setting none because I need to find exceptions whether required java. Yeah, what are info. Here we have defined the interface, connection interface. So here I need to check try inside try catch block because during the connection there might be some exception arise. So our exception is SQL exception. So system dot error e. So inside we need to write so we need to next we need to make the connection by using the one of the method of the driver manager class. So con is equal to driver manager. So all interfaces, all classes, it is a class, and interfaces will come under the java.util package. And here, uh, get connection. So it provide one connection method that is get connection. So you can find the overload methods. So get connection. So it accepts different parameters, string URL. So URL is nothing but our database connection URL. So this is our URL. The first one. The another one is string URL properties like properties info like username, password. The get connection. You can directly pass like this. Get connection. Connection URL. So we need to give one sequential format. First, we need to give our connection URL, database connection URL. Then we need to give our username. And finally, we need to give the password. Okay. Mm. So this is okay. Here we are making the connection. So if it is successful, let's suppose connection system.out.println connected. Actually, it is not PPT, not null. So here we are simply We are simply checking whether our from Java to database whether it is successfully connected or not. So we are making the registering the class driver class, and we are imported connection interface. So we are making the connection by using the get connection method. We are passing the parameters, and if connection is not is null, then obviously the connection has been established. Then we are printing connected. Let's check that. uh Java application. Okay, JDBC. Okay, okay. No suitable driver for JDBC local, JDBC local host. Uh, let's give 303306. No suitable driver for the JDBC local host. In JDBC MySQL. Now you can see. So I forget it here mention our particular database because here we can mention Oracle, MySQL or other database. So make sure here you need to mention proper database, either MySQL or Oracle. So then here this is the URL. So here it is checking. So the connection is not null. So that means here the connection has successfully established. You can conclude. So that is why it is showing connected. So you can remove this port also. So without port, it will give the same result. See connected. Or else you can do this one. Okay. So actually, before I think before Java 8, this driver, this class has been used to register, but after it, it has been deprecated. So this is deprecated. The new driver class is MySQL CG. So you can just mention cj.jdbc. Right click, Java application, connected. So actually, it is a optional. Like it is not a mandatory. So without registering, it can able to connect our database. Connected. Can able to connect it. So without this or with this, we can it will give the same result. So okay, now our connection successfully have established. So as I said, execute query. Yeah, let's. So we need to close the connection. So we can close this connection inside finally block, like if connection not is equal to null, then con dot close. So it will throw an exception. We need to import SQL exception. We need to add SQL exception throws. Right click. So connected. By internet, it will close the connection. So you can print message also like system router println connection close. So connection close. So inside final black, we can close connection. So that is the use of final black. We have covered in the SQL exception. So okay, now let's see. Okay, our backend is successfully connecting, interacting with the database. Okay, my requirement is yeah, okay. See, So inside PCS table, we have a four tables: categories, employee info, products, student data. So I need to fetch employee info data. So without opening my scale, so without interacting my database, I need to fetch employee info data uh, from this Java backend by using the JDBC concept. So let's do that. Okay, we have connected. Yeah, connection happened. Now, so we need to create the statement. So we need to create the statement. So actually, statement is a interface. So we need to create our statement. I will create out of right statement. So you can find a more than two statements, but make sure it comes under java.util package. Statement stmt none. Okay, create a statement. Then so statement we need to create statement. So how do you this connection interface will provide create statement method. So statement stmt dot con dot create statement. Statement. So you can find the overloading methods of the create statement. So it is actually different parameters. Like for this particular method, you can pass arguments like so if you want to display the read only from the data, I don't want to update. I don't want to allow other user to update some data. So in that situations, you can pass some like parameters like I will tell. So create statement. So we create a statement. Uh, then execute query. So execute query. After executing query, we need to store that result. So we can store that using result set interface. I'm doing here result set. So you can find two interfaces, java.utilpack, java.sql and com.mysql CJ protocol. So you need to select always java.sql. Connection rs and give null. Okay. Statement. Next, we need to execute. Rs is equal to stmt dot execute query. Execute query. So it is accepting one SQL query in the form of a string. So once it is executed, it will store inside this result set interface. So you can find the description. So execute the given SQL statement which returns single result set object. So it return that group of result as a single result set object. So this method cannot be called on prepare statement. We will discuss on that. So connection. So here I need to pass our actual query. So like I need to I need to fetch entire. So we know that to query select start from our table name is you need to give the table name also. Our table name is employee info. Employee info. Use semicolon. Okay. So we have done we established the connection, we create a statement and we execute it also. Then we need to process the result. So process is nothing but so after fetching the result from the database, we need to process like if you want to perform some operations on the result, like I want to perform an operation, like I need to display on the console. So It returns group of statements as a single. So we need to loop through that. While rs dot next. So here what I can do is I will define some properties. So this properties employee ID, employee name, department, salary, contact. So let's create that one. Before that, let's see this use PCS global description about employee info. Okay, when I can say, uh, employee. Because I need to find the type of like which type, whether it is a string, double, integer. So employee ID integer. So make sure. So whatever here data type is presented, so you have to create that same data type here also. So here our data by employee ID is integer data type. So integer EMP ID. Here you can give whatever you name, but I am giving the same name. Uh, for timing, I'm keeping the empty. The next one is employee name, string. So where carry is nothing but a string. Employee name, and another one is it is also string department. Department. Salary. So is a floating point. So here you can use double. Like or else you can use float also. Float salary. And final is contact. So contact which data type it is a combination character. So string contact. Okay. So I have created some temporary variables in order to store these results. Not this one, this one. Yeah. So this result I need to assign each and every variable. Then I need to print. Let's suppose EMP ID is equal to I need to assign this employee ID to this variable. Like how we can do this? So we can do this this result set provide. So after fetching this collection of records from backend, it is stored in the result set. So it provides some methods in order to access um, that to relevant to data type values. So rs. So which data type it is a integer data type. So rs dot get int. So because here it is an integer data type, we need to use the get int method. Get int method. Let's see the description. So here you can find get int two options. It is a int column index. You can give the index, and here you can give the column name also. Label like this column names. These column names must have to same. So get into. So it retrieves the value of the desired designated column in the current row of this result set object. So for timing, we're using this one. And here we need to mention this one, EMP ID. Okay, next EMP name. So our because EMP name is a string, we need to get. So this result set provide all kind of like all data type methods. Like if you want to get an integer, you can use this. If you want to find the string, you can just string. And here you can mention EMP name. and another one is department is equal to rs dot get string. What is our column name? Department. Department salary is equal to rs dot get float. So you can automatically see the suggestions. Here you can find salary. The final one is contact. rs dot get string contact. Okay. So we are looping through entire this result set. Uh, so this result set, and we are assigning each and every value to this temporary variable, and finally we are printing. Now I want to print. Let's suppose emp id, emp name, emp not emp department. The another one is salary. The final one is contact. Okay, so we are process the result and we are printing. So here I need to close the connections, like all resources. So we have successfully closed this connection. Now I need to close this statement result set resources also. You can perform this one. Mm. If st empty statement is not is equal to null, st empty dot close. If rs not is equal to null, just close the connection. Okay, now everything is perfect. So let's minimize. Yeah, this is our properties. We're closing, we're handling the exception also. So we are defining the interfaces. We're checking the connection. Okay, we created the statement. We executed. We created some temporary variables in order to process and assign each and every value. To finally printing, and then eventually we are closing the connection. If anything goes wrong in between the operations, we are printing errors. So let's run that. So now we can able to see. So it's connected. So it is displaying the result from this table. You can verify that. So employee ID 101. So employee ID 101. His name is Harish and a developer. Harish, developer, and 23,000 and his contact number. So 23,000 and his contact number. So here we are successfully retrieving the data from the database from by using the Java language and with the help of one API, that is JDBC. So so you can pass. Let's suppose I want to fetch only where employee ID 108. So I'll start from where emp ID is equal to 108. So now you can able to see this particular record from the database. Let's see the exception. Let's remove C. Instead of C, let's give the yes. Now let's run the program. Now you can see unknown database. So it is so throwing by default from the SQL. So what I can do is I can create some exception. Like error. So e dot get message system dot. So error code also. I need to see the code. E dot get error code. And finally, which one is better? E dot get SQL. Yeah, SQL state. Which state it is belongs. So state. So here it is throwing system. It is throwing. But here we are manipulating. We are managing explicitly. Let's run. So now you can see. So error. What is error? Unknown database. That is PCS. And the code is 110 state 4200. So these the exceptions, and you can find a lot of exceptions like system error, e dot SQL get SQL state, get message, we know get SQL get class, throwable which class, so, e dot get class. Okay, now, so this is so these are the more majorly exception happen. Like we need to find the a proper passage and code and which state. Let's suppose give the correct database PCs. Now let's give, so instead of employee, let's remove O. Now check. So connection established, but to table PCS global endpoint info doesn't exist. So that means there is an error in table name employee. And let's give row with the ID different connected. But this result has been executed successfully, but there is a no results coming from the database. Now you can verify like system.out rs. So it will give 0, I think. Not okay. So it will give this one ID. Okay. So before Java 8, so we are closing the connection resources manually here. But after Java, we can now close the connection without using finally blank. So we can directly mention this connection statement result set inside try here only. Beside of the try, we can use open brackets. So inside brackets, now you can give these properties, and whenever it execute, this try block will automatically close the connection by internally. Let's suppose. So let's comment it down. So give connection. So connection con dot uh, driver manager dot get connection. MySQL connection, then username, then password. So you need to, so here we are giving the single statement. You can give multiple statements. So what you can do is you can just simply semicolon and hit enter, and write a statement stmt is equal to con dot create statement. Here you can find a result set dot. So it provides some constants like so you can find some result set constants like if you want to read only, then you can use a conquer read only property. That means no one can able to update. And conquer or to commit, if you want to commit update, so you can allow the particular user, you can able to update and it forward and reverse unknown and for you can the type scroll insensitively sensitive, you can find the description. So let's suppose see this conquer read only. So the constant indicate the concurrency mode for result set object that may not be updated. You can see. So we cannot update. So let's use this. I want to read only. Let's close. Give the result set. Result set rs is equal to stmt dot execute query. Our query is copy this one. Control copy. Mm, Control V. Semicolon. Create statement. Add create statement. Result set. Okay, here we need to use one more thing. That is result set dot. Mhm. So I want to scroll insensitively. So like I need to read only and insensitive manner. So if you have large data, you can see this effect. So okay, now inside this try. So we are establishing the connection. We are creating the statement. We are executing. Let's click on it. Let's suppose fetch everything. Now comment this one. And this one also. Okay, so let's remove this one. So now let's check. Mm, See. So you can use this type of methods when if you want to close the resource connections automatically. In the situations, you can use this method. Or if you want to go with manually, you can use finally block. Results. Okay, now everything is perfect. So connected on the results. And so here, if you find one thing, so we are creating some temporary variable and where you assigning. So it is a time consuming process and it is not an optimizing way. So what we can do is can uncomment this one, uncomment this one also. Mm, Remove this one. What here we can do is I can use one string class, that is string buffer. So I can use a string buffer. So actually the difference between string and string buffer is so we know that string is a immutable, we cannot change. But a string buffer it is a immutable, we can change, we can manipulate the string whatever you want. So it provide almost similar methods all as string method. So by using string buffer and we are new string buffer. Okay, now it provide, as I said, it provide methods. So we know that append, uh, remove, reverse. So it provide a reverse if you want to reverse the string. And you can find the similar methods like character capacity and compare delete index of insert is empty. So our my requirement is obtained. So I want to append a string. This one. So string buffer. So it append the specified string to this character sequence. So we can append. We can add. So if there is anything, it returns null. So I want to append what I want is I want to append this column names inside quotation EMP ID. So EMP ID, not this one. Yeah, I want to append rs dot get into EMP ID. So in the same manner, I want to append rs dot get string in EMP name. Let's give colon. I don't want to give the colon. I need to give the space. Okay, fine. Here dot append rs dot get string department. Here dot append rs dot so department or string get float salary. Here dot append rs dot get string contact. So here I'm using just I'm optimizing the code. So by using the string buffer, so it is used to manipulate our string. So I am adding this employee ID, employee name, or employee salary. So here we're doing like this way, but here by using the string buffer, you can done this same method. So finally, I want to print on the console. So sys.out.println. So how we can print? Just beer dot to string. That's it. Now let's check java dot. So now we can verify that. So we are optimizing the code. So that means we are without consuming resources. So it is retrieving the fetching the data from the database. Okay. Uh, so get connection. Okay, everything is fine. Yeah. So statement also provide one more method. That is rs stmt dot execute update query. So what does it basically do is execute update query. So it execute the given SQL statement. So you how it is executing the query using the execute query method, but we can perform some more operations we can insert, we can update, we can delete. So we can perform some crude operations by using the update method. So you can find SQL, string SQL. So the overload method one more is, so it is asking the automating generated key and index. So you can find a lot of methods. So let's use execute update. Uh, what I can do is, so execute method delivers of this method can be null. It returns, yeah. So you can find the returns of this particular method. So either one, the raw count for SQL data manipulation language DMS statement, or zero, or yeah, like this one. So here 9 rows are returned, 5 rows returned, 9 rows returned, or 0 rows affected. So this is the result. So like this way, it will return either 1 or 0. If 1, that means successfully executed that SQL statement. If it is 0, no row has been updated. So now we can check this SQL statement. But here we need to, what I can do is I need to store that, yeah, int result. So I need to store that integer. Here I need to pass string. Uh, like what I can do is, so insert, update, delete. So I want to insert one more record, that is I want to entry new record to this table. So let's do that. Uh, insert into employee info values, and here I need to give the values 110, and the next one is emp name. So emp name is like what you can use is Vijay. So you need to give this within single quotation, not a double quotation. If you give the double quotation, it will give some error. The another one is department. So he is from tester. Salary. Salary would be 30,000. The final one is contact. So I have created one more statement, that is execute update method. I'm inserting new entry. So insert into employee info. Okay, everything's perfect. So one row affected. I need to print that uh, system.out.println results affected. So let's run this. So you have any error in SQL, check manual that corresponding recited to, okay, fine. Okay. I forget to close this one. Now you can verify that. So what it is basically do, so it is connected, it is saying one row affected. So one row affected means we can successfully say that the new entry has been added into this existing table. But you can find the exception. Operation not allowed after the result set. So we have closed. So result set. So we know that after performing everything will close. Okay, fine. Yeah. So you can do this. First, let's check whether it is inserted or not. So let's start for employee info. So we don't have a 110. Now we can verify. So new record has been added. 110 Vijay tester. So new record has been added. Okay. Next, let's suppose I want to see code operation. Hmm. So I want to update same employee ID 1110, his salary 30,000 to 50,000. So we can do this by using the same result html dot execute update employee inflow set salary is equal to 50,000. 50,000 uh, where EMP ID is equal to 1110. So let's perform. So one row affected. Let's see this. So previously it is 30,000. Execute. So executed 50,000. So updated successfully. So in the same manner, let's delete this entry. Comment and result stmt dot execute update delete start from employee info where EMP ID is equal to 110. So connected, you have any error? So delete star from okay. Why it is not very implied? Join SQL Center, check the manual that correspond your MySQL version of the delete from employee info where EMP ID is equal to 110. Start from employee where employee number one. So what is correct? So delete star. I don't know. So delete from employee. Yeah. So one row affected. Let's check. So one more time is present. Let's retrieve the record. So there is a no record which we have previously inserted. So by using this one, execute update, we can perform this operations. But here we are hard coding everything. Like we are giving the values, but it is not a correct way. So we need to get the values from the users and we need to assign. We don't have to hard code it. What we can do, yeah, everything is fine. Yeah, connection. Yeah, connected. This is close. Yeah, okay, guys. That's it for today. So in the next sessions, we will see like here we are hard coding everything. So next session, we will how we can overcome these problems by using prepare statements. There are like yeah, prepare statement, callable. So we can do this. How how to take the input from the user and how to assign, how to pass, and we will optimize some more concepts like here we are making the connection. But this utility class, we can make we can make this connection as a utility. So every time we don't need to write this connection driver manager, we don't have to do that. Just we can use this like utility. And you can use, yeah, we can make it this exception also utility. So we can optimize in the next class. If you have any queries, you can ask me, guys. So that's it for today.